Hi everyone, my name is Quandi Carter, and today I will be talking to you guys about national education, standards, overlooked individuals, and local communities. Standardized testing grew sharply in the 1980s based on research of the 17th century European psychologists. It measures the knowledge of students. President George Bush made standardized testing mandatory under the No Child Left Behind Act. And also is establishing state or national standards, causes major problems in the United States today. What is standardized testing, you guys may be wondering, but most of us know what standardized testing is today due to the fact it's popular. Standardized testing is a type of test that's given and graded in a uniform manner in an effort to create a universal standard against which the performance of individual students may be measured. So therefore, it measures a whole lot of students in a group. It measures their knowledge, ability, how well they perform, or how much knowledge they took in during the school year. There are two sides to this story. Either you can get rid of the standardized testing and allow teachers to create their own unique way to measure students' knowledge, or you can allow the national government to control how students learn and retain information compared with future generations. Side one. The federal government should stop trying to use standardized testing as a way to force national educational standards on local school systems. Control of education is best left at the state and local level, in the hands of parents, teachers, and administrators, local school boards. Standardized tests do not take into account the uniqueness of each child with his or her own individual learning style and the academic progress each student has made over the course of a school year. What this is saying is the standardized test should be left to the local level. So therefore, the SAT or the ACT should not be in place due to the fact it does not measure how much a student learned throughout the school year. Due to the fact all students learn at different paces, not only they learn at different paces, but all students learn differently. Everyone do not learn the same. So why give a child a test that you have to use your knowledge in the same way as someone else, which you may not learn that same learning. You may not learn in that same learning style. So allow teachers to create their own unique way to teach these students how to learn and take in information, and it'll make the students actually learn the information rather than remembering the information. Side two. Standardized tests are important not for the testing but for the standards. They are in essence a benchmark that, when properly done, set out for students, teacher, parents, and the nation, both for the next generation further. Standardized tests allow comparisons to be made among students and schools in different communities. This is saying leave it up to the government and let the government make the decisions, because we're making a mark for our next generation. So therefore, let the standardized test take effect and let us compare what we did in the past and how are we improving our knowledge on how well our students are being taught these information in the classroom today. And what they're saying is a goal that our nation have, and we're trying to make sure our students as Americans are learning those actual goals. None of us has the power on our own to decide what a student should learn in school, but as communities and as a nation, we must negotiate some clear ideas for what skills students need to learn from us and what type of information we expect them to know. Standardized testing is crucial to this project, but not because it makes students or teachers or communities accountable. After all, every one of us is accountable for the next generation, no matter what any test shows. This is saying everyone in the world is accountable for our next generation that have to come behind us. No matter what tests we have to compare with the next generation, we're still responsible for our goals and where we want this nation to go in the future. So, why opt out of standardized testing? The reason why you should opt out is you can tell from the numbers from 1975 to 2012 that the numbers were kind of down, but once the city actually opted out of the standardized testing, their students started to actually learn more than what they did before, because the students are not forced to know information that the nation have for our students, that this is what you're supposed to know, this is what we're going to learn. They allow their teachers to actually educate these students and have the ability to learn rather than to remember this information, because it's a difference between remembering information and learning information, and these students were able to learn information, retain the information, and understand what they're learning so they can carry it on in their future careers. Ending standardized testing. Again, it can help teachers focus on the students' weak areas more, allow students to show their creative way of learning, allow teachers to be unique with their teaching styles, help students further their education, help students learn rather than remembering information. This can allow teachers to look at the student weak spot. This is your weakness. Let's help you make this your strength. This student is creative in this way. I can change my lesson plan to make sure all my students have their own way of creative learning. We want to be able to make sure our students can learn effectively and be creative, and also let the teacher have fun with their job, and let the teacher also use different teacher styles to make sure all of their students are understanding the information and learning the information properly, so they can take it into their college careers. Because as a college student, by the time we get to our college level, we forget half of the information that we learned in elementary, middle school, high school, and we have to go back and remember those steps. So if we can get rid of these standardized testing, more than likely we will remember as a nation. Our students will remember how to retain the information and learn the information rather than remembering the information, because a lot of students here in America are remembering the information. And it causes a big controversy here in our nation today, whether we should or should not get rid of standard testing, which most colleges and universities are getting rid of the SAT and the ACT. So nationally, we might as well just go ahead and get rid of the actual standard testing altogether with the No Child Left Behind Act. Here's my words cited. I hope you guys enjoyed my speech today on national education standards. I overlook individuals and local communities, because it really do overlook our community and our individual students, because it doesn't really show them who they are. It don't really show how the student learn. It doesn't really show the student knowledge. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoy it.